Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rel United States. Welcome to Niagara Falls, New York. We are on Goat Island. Now, Goat Island is a little patch of land that is in the middle of the Niagara River, and it separates the Horseshoe Falls on the Canadian side from the American Falls that you see behind me. And so we have probably the best view of the falls from the American side of the river that you possibly can get. Because of the angle that the falls comes at, many of the best views are, in fact, from across the river on the Canadian side of the river. But still, from here in the United States, you can get some very good views of what is probably the best known tourist attraction in the entire United States. Now, I am not this time going to go into a lot of details about how many millions of gallons of water flow over the falls every hour and all that sort of thing. We're here simply to show you the falls and to enjoy them. It's a beautiful day. It's not terribly cold. That's why I'm able to wear a t-shirt. But it's early fall, mid-October here, the first, well, not quite mid-October, and the leaves are starting to turn. So we've got a really very beautiful, beautiful setting for this. Now, one of the things that I would like to tell you is that I had always known there was a Horseshoe Falls, the Canadian Falls, and the American Falls that you see behind me, but what I didn't know until recently is there actually is a third falls, and it's right down here. You can't see it from here. It's called Bridal Veil Falls, and it is actually a separate fall that is on the near side to us from the American Falls, and it's completely on the American side of the river. We're going to try and get down there and show it to you, and apparently there is a tour you can take where you can walk down and Cave of the Winds, and you can walk in behind the falls, and I've been told by my wife that this is something we are going to attempt to do. So I don't know if I can get footage down there with the mist and everything on the camera, but we'll do what we can. So please enjoy your stay here at Niagara Falls along the Niagara River here in the state of New York. Now, one of the interesting phenomenons that is such an attraction for people is the fact that there's a perpetual rainbow because of the mist that comes up off of the falls. You can see here behind me that given the right angle of the sun, there is this perpetual rainbow as the light is diffused through all the little particles of water that arise up from the water falling the several hundred feet that it falls over the falls. So again, if you come here, this is one of the things you're going to want to look for. And we're here in about the mid-afternoon, so there's an ideal time, the sun's at the right angle to really catch that and to show you this perpetual rainbow. Okay, folks, now this is Bridal Veil Falls, this little 35-foot wide stretch of water that separates the American Falls from the Canadian Falls, the Horseshoe Falls. It comes down through here. Very beautiful piece of water. I got some footage. Oh, that's cold, folks. I'm getting wet up the back. I'll show you the footage of the folks that are walking down below it. And this is Bridal Veil Falls that you can actually walk behind. So folks, this is Niagara Falls on the American side of the Niagara River, or what is commonly called the American Falls. Obviously, it's the second largest of the three falls. The Horseshoe Falls is the most impressive, the largest face of the three falls here in Niagara. But still, this also doesn't seem to have the cantilever. Well, the falls and the Horseshoe Falls, the rock seems to come out where it can drop directly over. This comes out and the rock face comes straight down and it kind of rolls down the face of it. Still a very impressive sight. Again, you can see that perpetual rainbow in the back of me, and that is in fact Rainbow Bridge in the background. There's an observation deck up there that comes over from the American side. A lot of good opportunities, a dozen different places that you can get a good view of this, so it's almost impossible to choose which one's the best. If you get a chance to get here, you're going to want to try and move around between the American side and the Canadian side and get all the different views of this, because it's a spectacular thing to see. So I don't know if it's like this everywhere in the world, but certainly here in the United States, we love to name things. We name everything. Every little nook and cranny and pothole in the entire nation has a name. And this little spit of land that I'm sitting on, that's separated from Goat Island, the much larger island, is separated by the stream that comes down for Bridal Veil Falls, and of course separated on the other side by the American Falls. This little island has a name too, and I never realized that. This actually is Luna Island, or which would be, I guess, Moon Island if you were to try and translate that, but we call it Luna Island. So it's probably less than half an acre, or about half an acre, and this is crammed with people who've come down to see the Bridal Veil Falls, the American Falls here off of Goat Island. But Luna Island actually is the place you come down to get closest to the water and to the falls. So I thought that was kind of an interesting little tidbit. I know I'm going to try not to bore you with too many little facts and figures, but Luna Island was just too cool to pass up. Now, one of the things that Beverly and I have always very found appealing is rapids. And if you're a fan of babbling water, of running water with rapids and like that, this is definitely the place to come, because upstream from the falls, there is just tons and tons of rapids as the water starts to drop off before it actually makes it to the falls. And I realize that most of the people coming to see this big, spectacular final push as it goes over the falls, and that's a wonderful thing. It's breathtaking, it's beautiful, but the rapids upstream are well worth a nice leisurely walk up and enjoying those, because they're just gorgeous through here. The water is so beautifully clean, which you wouldn't think it would be, but it really does appear to be extremely clean, clear water. So just another gorgeous part of this whole state park here. And this is in fact Niagara Falls State Park that we're sitting in the middle of. That's this island and Goat Island, all that is all part of Niagara Falls State Park. And it's there is a parking fee to get out here, but the park itself, if you were to walk over from the mainland, there's no admission fee. It's free. So anyone can come out here and enjoy the day and just have a great time, and there's no cost. So I'd like to thank you for joining us here on the real United States in Niagara Falls, here on Goat Island in the middle of the Niagara River. I hope you've enjoyed this short visit here to this spectacular, world-famous tourist attraction. I hope you'll subscribe and join us for future episodes. Come along for the adventure. If you've got questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. We love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. And as always, thank you for watching.